So this morning's practice is going to be fun. We're going to move a little different, as I always try and do, because we don't want to get complacent. So starting in a little bit of a funky child's pose. And once again, if this doesn't work for you, you can always just resort to regular child's pose, but try it out. So if you're okay with curling your toes under, just like I'm showing you here, good. And then from here, it's kind of like puppy dog. So you're going to slide your arms forward and your butt's going to be really high in the air. Right. So give it a try. And if it doesn't feel good in your body this morning, then just go to a regular child's pose. See how you're doing with that. Yeah, perfect. And then just connect to your breath here in this position, however it feels to you. Anchor the hands and feel, like literally feel your lower back spreading. And whatever you feel and wherever you feel the most tightness, just kind of direct it someplace else. Anchor the hands. So there's a tremendous lift of your forearms up off the ground. The front of the forehead is on the mat if possible. And just connect to your breath. Inhalations through the nose. Exhalations through the nose, through the back of the throat. Good. Slide the hands forward. Keep the toes curled for now. Bring the hands just a little bit in front of your shoulders in a tabletop position with the toes curled, such as this, okay? Now, the trick is fix your eyes on one spot at the front edge of your mat and see if you can really glue here. Extend your right leg and your left arm and see if you can do it at the same time. So just kind of pulling the body in opposite directions. So we're going to start slow and we'll pick up the pace a little bit. Flex the right foot dramatically. And make sure there's no turning open of your right hip or thigh. So it's directly down. And this is where the visual focus of like looking at one thing is helpful. Keep spreading your left arm forward. And if you're a little bit off balance here, it's okay. Press through your padded part of your right hand. Grip your right tricep under you. And hug your left hip in strong. Stay with it. So your right knee is going to move to the outside or the general direction of your right tricep, and your left arm is going to come alongside your left waist. So do it slow. Right knee towards right tricep and left arm slides to the outside of the left waist. So it's a little funky. And then extend the arm and the leg in opposite direction and see if you can do it slow. Try it again. Knee, right knee, outside of right tricep or in the general direction. Left arm slides right side the body of the left ribs. Keep your gaze to the front edge of your mat. Right leg and left arm move in opposite directions. Try it again. Knee towards outer right tricep, left arm hugs towards left rib cage, hug in. Reach the arm and the leg in opposite directions, flex the right foot. Good. Hand and knee to the floor. Keep the toes curled. I find that it kind of gets the hamstring to activate a little. Right arm and left leg. See if you can do it at the same time in opposite directions. So it's kind of like a revolved Arda, but you're balancing here. And just pause and just feel. And you notice, like if you're a little wobbly or unsteady, it's just part of the process. Draw the belly in. You have to hug your right hip in strong and flex and activate your left thigh bone a lot. Keep reaching. Just feel your body in space. Connect to your breath, let it flow. So this time it's going to be your left knee towards your left tricep and your right arm alongside your right ribs. Give it a whirl. Knee and elbow opposite direction. Go ahead. Go ahead. Right arm and left leg reach apart in opposite directions. Here we go. Yeah, I got ahead of myself. Right side of your body, right arm and left knee, left tricep. Here we go. Give it a try. Hug in. Right leg and left leg, extend, right arm and left leg extend in opposite directions, like a bad game of Simon Says. One more time. Right arm and left knee, hug in. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Flex the foot strong. Hand and knee to the floor, toes curl. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. So come to your first down dog here. Walk it out so you know that you've got a pretty long stance in your downward facing dog. Yeah. Perfect. Take up a lot of space. Your feet are about hips width distance. Bring your hands, Corey, in a little bit closer. If I can see, yeah. Bring them in a little bit closer. Perfect. Your index fingers are always pointed forward, and the creases of the wrists are forward. I took off my sweatshirt. It's like cryotherapy in my living room. It's so cold in here. Yeah. Bend behind your knees. I don't need to go to one of those places. I just come and do yoga in here for an hour. Spread your toes wide. Plug down. Let the head go. You may need to bend your knees a little bit or a lot. And then breathe your hips way up off your shoulders this morning. Let the head just be free. If your eyes are darting around in space, just pick one spot, hone in. Roll forward plank. It's a good way to find if your down dog and your plank are set up correctly. When you come forward to your plank, you should be stacked, shoulders, elbows, wrists. You can always drop your knees if you need support. Draw the belly in, fix your eyes. Connect to your breath. And just hold. A subtle wrapping of your outer triceps in. A lengthening of the tailbone. A pulling through of your chest in a sense, like you're leading here with your chest, but not with your head or your chin or your neck. Your neck is just neutral. Stay with it. Contract the thighs. Pull into the center line. Breathe. Keep the hands and the feet where they are, hips up and back, downward facing dog. That gives you an idea that you shouldn't be moving your feet around now. They have found their spot. Roll forward plank. Hands and feet don't move. You just come forward and your hips move. Thumb, index finger, baby finger plug down. Scissor into the center line, your outer hips, your outer thighs, your outer ankles. Keep your drishti, your gaze just a little forward, and see if you can bend your elbows in half. You can always drop your knees. So some version of a chaturanga. Pull yourself to a nice smooth up dog or baby cobra if the lower back feels sensitive. Lead with your chest, point your legs and your toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look to the top of the mat. 2 big steps to get there this morning. 1, 2. Long spine on the inhale. Keep the weight forward. Hands can always rest on the shins too, but you want your shoulders to slide down your back. Exhale, fold over your legs. Root to rise, come all the way up. Anchor. Drag your hands to prayer at heart and just stand tall for a second. You can decide if you want your feet a little separated or together. It's up to you. Arms reach up, just traditional sun A's right here. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let the head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare long spine. It's always good to look forward just a little bit. Plant your palms, just 2 big steps to get you back to that plank. Bend your elbows in half for a slow push-up, chaturanga. Drag yourself through a smooth upward facing. Lead with your heart and chest, point your toes. From your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Allowing yourself the opportunity just to arrive into the practice this morning. Look to the top of the mat. 2 big steps to get there. I try and alternate sides. Long spine, if you don't remember, you just do your best. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Anchor through your feet and your legs. Drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. Arms reach up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let that head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare yourself. Plant your palms, step to plank. Yep. Bend your elbows in half so you feel what you're doing in your push-up. Pull yourself to an up dog, activate your legs. Hips up and back, downward facing. If something's going on in your body and the up dog is really just not suiting you this morning, you can always just take a push-up, go back to down dog, or just be in down dog. Look to the top of the mat. You can step at this point. If you'd like to float, do it carefully and lightly. You don't want to somersault. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold, let the head go. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart, drop your arms. So allow yourself to just kind of come into this moving meditation. Arms reach up, look up. Dive in half over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips to prepare. You can plant the palms and step or float to your vinyasa. So you pick how this works this morning. Up dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Look where you want to go. Step or float your feet to the top. Long spine, weight stays forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Anchor. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Keep going. Arms reach up. Dive again over bent knees. Forward fold. Let the head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing pulls you through. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Just one more. Look where you want to go. Just going to get it moving a little. Step or float to the top. Land light. Long spine. Keep the weight forward. Exhale, fold in half. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Last one of these. Arms reach big. Dive again over bent knees. Forward fold. Long spine to prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. However that looks. Upward facing is smooth. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Nice, guys. So you're going to roll forward to a plank. I know, really exciting. Roll forward to plank. Do this. Separate your feet just a tiny bit wider and see if you find a little bit more stability. Not the width of the mat, just like maybe 3 fist distances, and see if you feel anything different. Good. From here, lift your right foot. Flex it. Just an inch. Take your right knee towards your right tricep in the general direction. Slide your right leg back, let it hover. Flex the foot. Take your right knee across to the inside of the left arm. It may or may not touch. Mine is definitely not touching today. Slide the right foot back, let it hover. Right knee outside of right tricep. Right leg back, let it hover, lengthen. Right knee to the inside of the left arm, fall in triangle. So the right leg is going to step out like this. The right hand is firm to the mat. It's kind of like a side plank, left arm up. If this is unavailable to you this morning, drop your bottom knee and take a modified side plank. My left leg is like warrior 2. I'm on the blade of my right foot. I'm lifting my hips high and stacking the arms as I look up. My hips are on top of one another. It's not, my left hip is not opening. Those look good. Lift a little higher. Look down. Left hand comes to the floor, move slow. As you come forward into neutral, hug your right knee in. Step the right foot all the way forward and through into a low lunge. Pause. Pause in the low lunge. Back leg is strong. You always have the option to drop the knee if this is too intense for you. So you just decide how much you want to work today. Integrate the inner and outer thighs, hug in, and then come up crescent lunge. So the goal is to have our hips forward. We want to get out of our lower back, draw the belly in, and it's okay to even like check in with your body parts. Like, okay, my hip points are forward. I'm not dumping into my lower back. I'm bending deep into the front leg, and my back leg is as strong as it can be. And then you grow your arms up. And then you settle in here and just get out of your head, like waiting for me to say, move on to the next thing, whatever. Doesn't matter. Just be here in this moment. Couple breaths. The meditation happens in these moments that we pause. We're still, we challenge ourselves. Sit a little deeper, but grow the upper torso a little higher. Kind of a neat concept. Bring the hands down to frame your front foot. Come to your fingertips if this is available. Straighten the right leg 3/4 of the way. So that means that your leg is not going to go pin straight. Stay on your fingertips and just pause. Look forward with your eyes. So you're high on the ball of your back foot. and your right leg is bent just about 3/4 of the way with your hands down, either to the floor or blocks. Pause. Good. Keeping the right leg just like this. Pivot the left foot. Set yourself up for a triangle. Keep a little bend behind your right leg. Grab somewhere on the front of your right shin and spread your left arm up. If you need to come up and reset, you do that. And then play with your triangle today. Sometimes we get really complacent and we go to the same spot always. I know I do. So sometimes I grab on the same exact spot on my shin. Maybe I want to work a little different. Maybe I want to use a block to the outside of my calf. Maybe I want to activate and come out of it a little. I can be a little higher up. I can also be a little lower down. Just be mindful of how this feels in the body and don't go too deep or too far. It's early in the practice. Anchor the left leg like you did in that fallen triangle and that, yes, and that funky side plank. So the left leg is strong, it's got a little angle to it. And then lifting up the torso, then look up, 3 more breaths. Side body's long, inner and outer thighs are working. It's a yummy pose. Press strong through your feet. Now focus tremendously on your back left leg and your top arm. Pull yourself up to stance. Now your arms are straight and your legs are relatively straight. Your wrists are directly over your ankles. Bend into your right thigh and create the shape for a warrior 2. If you need to widen your stance because your triangle was shorter, then do that. Just look at your feet. Sometimes the feet go all over the place. Heel to heel, heel to arch is what we're aiming for. Upper body is nice and open. Tailbone is dropping down. Inner right thigh is rolling open. So I go over the same stuff all the time because it's just basic reminders. Breathe. Maybe close your eyes and allow yourself to go a little deeper in a different way. Think about your left arm and your left shoulder. Grow that to the back of the mat and see if that spreads your collarbone a little bit wider and creates more space for you to breathe. Blink your eyes open. Rest your right arm or use your elbow to encourage the right thigh open with the palm up like this, left arm up and come up and over with the arm. So either modified extended side angle or you're using your right elbow to press the inner right thigh open and the left arm wraps up and over. You pick. It's like an arrow with your left arm and then look up. If the arm needs to be straight up, that's fine. If your hand needs to be on your hip, that's cool too. Find something that works, 5 breaths. Press strong through your left leg. Grip your right hip underneath you. Turn your bottom ribs. Look up. 2 more. Look to the floor, circle the hands down, step to a plank. Plank position. Let's bend the elbows together, chaturanga or some version of that. Pull yourself through a smooth up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing. So just widen the stance of your feet a tiny bit, just a little bit, and then roll forward to plank and see if you find a little bit more stability when you do it that way. Yes, so you're in a plank, your feet are just tiny bit wider. Lift the left foot, flex the foot. Take your left knee towards your left tricep. It's just going to go in the general direction, but try and stay in a plank. Slide the left foot back, let it hover. Draw the belly in. Take your left knee to the inside of the right arm. Keep the hip square though. Slide the leg back, let the foot hover. One more time. Hug the left knee to the outside of the left tricep. Keep looking forward. Slide the leg back, let the foot hover. Slide the left knee to the inside of the right arm. Slide the leg to the side and you're going to go into a fallen side plank, a fallen triangle. The right leg is like a warrior 2. The left leg is straight and I'm on the blade of it. Right arm grows up, look up. You can always modify and drop to the bottom knee. Your left hand is slightly in front of your left shoulder, like an inch. Press strong through the back leg, lift a little higher. Look down, right hand to the floor. As you neutralize your hips, hug your left knee straight in, and then land the foot forward and through into a low lunge. Grip your outer hips in, make sure your stance feels appropriate, it's long enough and wide enough, and then grow up to a crescent lunge. Come up nice and slow. Check in with your alignment. Front leg is bending in half, back leg is strong, hip points moving forward. So the energy is letting your lower half of the body drop down, but the upper half of the body is growing up. Then just fix your eyes and take a few moments to get ourselves together. Sit a little deeper. Hands come to frame the front foot. Be on your fingertips, pause, keep the back leg just as it is. Start to straighten the left leg as much as it's gonna go for you, maybe halfway, 3/4 of the way. Keep the neck neutral and long. Be on the fingertips or blocks, just be here for a second. You haven't changed the length of the stance. Keep the left leg where it is, turn the back foot on a strong angle, and then slide yourself into a triangle here. Grab somewhere in the front of your shin. Grip your left hip underneath you and reach up big with your right arm. That looks good, Kristen. So it's a sensation like you're leaning back, but you're actually not going into your lower back. Side body is long, and you really feel the openness of your chest, your collarbone. Just connect to your breath. Breathe into the whole body. Allow yourself to feel. Press strong through your back leg and your top arm. Pull yourself up to standing position. Arms and legs are straight. Left foot stays facing forward. You're gonna bend deep into the front thigh, warrior two. Warrior two. Straighten out your torso. Make sure there's no movement of your ribs forward. Breathe your right shoulder back. And then ground yourself and hold. Maybe even close your eyes as you wrap your inner thigh open. Stay with it. Nice work. Rest your arm on the top of the thigh or use your elbow to press the inner thigh open with the palm facing up. Right arm can reach straight up or it can wrap forward like a nice bow and arrow. So the blade of your right foot wraps with the right arm up and forward. There's like a little leaning back, turning of the bottom ribs, and gripping of your hip in. Soften the left shoulder a little. Make sure it's not clenching up. Stay with it. Another big breath in. Look to the floor, circle both hands down, step to a plank. Chaturanga, if it's desirable to you. Pull yourself to an up dog. Yep, hips up and back, downward facing. From your down dog, glide your right foot forward, turn your back foot strong, warrior one. Warrior one. Just reminding you that your back foot in warrior one is pretty much completely turned forward. It's like on a little angle. Yeah, left ribs turn forward, right hip grips in, and the stance is pretty long, so your whole torso can move to the front edge of the mat. Bring it to the floor to a plank, or you just step to a dog if you're feeling a little more chill. Up dog if you're moving through the vinyasa. Hips up and back, downward facing. Land your left foot forward, pretty big step. Turn the back foot on a strong angle. Bring yourself up, warrior one. Steer the right side of your body forward as you grip your left hip underneath you. Press firm through the back blade of your right foot. And then look up a little towards your eyes. With your eyes, you can like look towards the molding, where molding would be. Not everyone has molding anymore. Hands to the floor, vinyasa. Upward facing pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a full cleansing breath out. Look where you want to go. Step or float your feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold. Sit into a chair. Move the weight into your heels. Let your shins slide back. Lift your upper torso. Create a little arch in your lower back. We all have that. And let your arms shoot straight up. Press up to stand, drag it to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Here we go. Slide the arms straight up towards the sky. Sit deep into your chair. Move the weight into your heels. It helps a lot. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let the head go. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot forward, back foot turns, warrior one. Your anti-warrior one, you can always do crescent lunge. Bring it back down to the floor. You're kind of moving at your own pace now. Chaturanga, up dogs are all optional. When you get to your down dog, you step your left foot forward. Come on up. Looking good, guys. Bring it back down. Move at your own pace. Maybe you want extra push-ups. Maybe you're just thinking about it. Meet in a down dog. Take a breath in. Take a full breath out. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top. Long spine. Keep that weight forward. Exhale, fold. Sit into our exciting chair pose. Weights in your heels. Shoot up to a standing position. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Stretch the arms up. Sit again, chair. Dive over those bent knees, forward fold, let the head go. Come to the fingertips, prepare, step or float through your vinyasa. Now it's like a little dance. When you get to your down dog, slide your right foot forward, turn your back foot strong, warrior one. Bring it back down to the floor, your pace, your thing. From your down dog, left foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Bring it back down to the floor, plank, chaturanga. Upward facing, slide your heart through, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Look where you want to go, step or float to the top. Long spine, keep the weight forward. Exhale, fold. Sit again into a chair. Each one gets a little deeper. That's the goal. Press up to straight legs, straight arms. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. One more of these and we'll move on. Stretch the arms up. Sit deep chair. Won't get too hung up on these sun bees. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let the head go. Come to the fingertips. Prepare. Step or float. Vinyasa. Upward facing. Hips up and back. Downward facing. We're moving and grooving. Right foot forward. Back foot turns. Warrior one. Bring it back down through your vinyasa. And then step your left foot forward. When you are ready, warrior one. Bring it back down to the floor. Plank through a chaturanga. Upward facing, point your toes. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good. In your downward facing dog, keep your arms really straight, okay? Press, plug the hands down. Look at your hands. Hop your feet or float your feet or crawl your feet through and lay down. When you lay down on your backs, bend your legs like you're going up to bridge, because we are. Fingertips skim the backs of our heels. Arms are gonna be like robot arms. Back of your triceps are gonna hug right by the side ribs, and they're gonna press. My hands are like a block is in between them. Inhale the breath. On the exhale breath, drive the back of the triceps, lift the tailbone into the mat. So the tailbone lifts, yep, and there's space from the tailbone to the back of the knees. Your throat and neck is long. Press the back of the triceps, drive them down, anchor the feet, and let the thighs wrap in. Good. Exhale the breath, lower down. Again, lift up, this time, right ankle over the edge of the left thigh. So it looks like ankle to knee in a bridge, because that's what we're doing. Anchor through the backs of the arms, externally rotate your right thigh and flex your right foot. So it should be hanging a little bit off the left thigh. So you're in a little bridge with ankle to knee with your right leg. Lift a little higher. Keep lifting. Exhale the breath, lower the lower back first, then lower the right foot to the floor. One more time, here we go, lift up. This time when you come up, cross the left ankle over the edge of the right thigh, let the foot hang an inch or two off. Continuously roll the left thigh open, press to the backs of the arms, lift a little higher. Lower the lower back, lower the left foot to the floor, good. Hug the knees to the chest, rock and roll, get some momentum for yourself. When you get up, cross your ankles, step to a downward facing dog. When you get to your downward facing dog, roll forward to a plank. Bend your elbows in half to a slow chaturanga. Drag yourself through a smooth up dog. Lead with your chest, activate your legs. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look where you want to go, step or float to the top. Long spine right here, fold again. Sit into chair, move the weight into your heels. Wherever your heart rate is, wherever your mind is, wherever your body is, you just come back. Drag your hands to a prayer, inhale the breath, hook the elbow, take it to the right. This is when we get sloppy in. Yes, the left knee likes to turn in front of the right, so keep digging down. Lining everything up nice and even so your shins, your knees, your thighs are all connected, and then you get in there and twist. Spine is long. Open up your chest, your collarbone, open up your arms if you want a little more. Maybe even look up. Keep the breath flowing though. Smooth inhale, smooth exhale. Keep the weight in your heels. Pull around to a strong chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let the head go. Split the feet apart about hips width distance. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Take a big step back with your left leg. Left leg to the back of the mat. Right foot is forward. Walk the right foot a little to the right. Inhale the breath. Exhale, come up, crescent lunge. Fix your eyes on something that's not moving. Control yourself. I know it's so exciting. Drag the hands to prayer. Inhale your breath. You can always drop your back knee, guys, just reminding you. Hook the elbow, take it to the right. Grip your right hip in strong. Squeeze your left glute and hamstring a lot, and then get in there and twist. Try to avoid looking all the way back because it's going to round our spine. So I'm just looking to my brick wall, to my fireplace, maybe looking up. I'm going to dig down a little deeper to get in there a little bit more. More breath, more feeling. Activate the back leg, lean back just a tiny bit. Look to the floor, take both hands down. Walk your right foot to the center of the mat, be on your fingertips. Spring your left foot to meet your right. Long spine on the inhale breath. Keep the weight forward, guys. Fold again. Sit into chair, move the weight into your heels. Drag your hands to that strong prayer. Inhale the breath, hook and twist. So we're going to the left now. If you screwed it up, always do the opposite. Yep, two knees line up. Two shins, thighs are squeezing tight unless lower back is sensitive. Then definitely split the legs apart a little. Now open up your arms, your throat, your chest if you want more, or just stay with this. So the weight is moving back, but the spine is moving forward. Kind of nifty. Keep the breath flowing as it starts to intensify. Strong legs, strong mind. Chair. Dig down a little deeper. Exhale, fold. Let the head go. Split the feet apart again to their hips width distance. Draw to the fingertips, long spine. You can bend a little behind your knees. Slide your right leg. Take a generous step back. So your left leg is forward, your right leg steps back. I automatically go ahead and walk the left foot a little over to the left to widen the stance. And then I'm going to grip my leg strong and come up from here, crescent lunge. And you notice if like your back knee needs to drop today, give yourself that TLC. Drag the hands to a prayer, pray here. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, take it to the left. Good. So you're bending pretty deep into your front standing left leg, and your back leg is strong unless you're opting for the knee down. You're scissoring the outer and inner thighs in, and then you get in there. Yeah, look up if you can. I have the tendency to not let my left shoulder draw back. So see if you can draw your left shoulder back. Yes. Twist from above the belly button. Yeah, that's the upper thoracic is doing its job. Stay with it just a little longer. 2 more. Look down, place the hands to the floor, pause. Don't get ahead of yourself. Spring your right foot forward, hips width distance. So they're about hips width. Hook onto the big toes, bend your knees. Inhale to a long spine, bend as much as you need. Exhale, open your elbows and let it go. So your stomach is like draping on the front of your thighs, and my knees are bent. Yeah. There's no way in hell I'm going to be able to straighten my legs here. And that's okay. Exhale the breath, long spine. Hands come to your hips, come up to a standing position. Your feet are hips width distance. If that's comfortable for you, your arms are by your side body. Stand tall. Good. Standing right leg is going to be the balancing leg. Definitely have your blocks set up if you need them today. Right leg strong, left leg bends up into a tree. So tree pose. My right leg is the balancing leg, and my left leg is creating the tree. Somewhere along my right leg, my left foot lands, but my hips are squared forward. Your hands can come to a prayer. And if you feel that you can get your balance, I just found mine, extend the arms up. Some days we need to go to the wall, and we can't find it. Grip your outer hips in strong. Grow from the ground up. So grow, your legs are supporting you, but your torso is reaching up. And expect to wobble and kind of feel like you're going to fall at any point. Stay with it. Keep your eyes fixed. Move slow. Hands are going to come to prayer. Good. And you're going to slide your hands to your hips. Right leg's going to stay as it is. You're going to start to look towards the block. We're floating to a half moon from here. So keep gripping your right hip in. Reach down. Use that block and begin to open into half moon. And you may find that your balance is floppy and challenged. That is the point. So move slow. Let your bottom ribs start to open. If you need to reset, you reset. Find the position for the block. It's off, kind of like a little to the right, off the right baby toe. And it can be any height that works best for you. Stack the 2 arms. And once you find the pose, settle in. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Grip your right hip in strong. Make sure your right foot is not dancing around the mat. It's forward. Left leg is hip height. Just keep it basic today. You may fall 7 times, and that's okay. Come back, join us again. Turn the bottom ribs, 3 more breaths. Wherever you are, focus strong on your right leg. Keep it forward, take a giant step back, warrior 2. Warrior 2. We were here before. Warrior 2, lengthen your tailbone, turn up the inner thigh, spread your collarbone. Anchor the left leg. Keep all that, reach out with your right hand, slide it to the outside of your right foot today, or go for a block. I generally use a block. If you don't have a block, you can also just rest your arm back on the top of the thigh. So right outside of right leg, pressing pretty strongly against the inside of the right arm. Left arm can extend up, wrapping forward is a nice option. Today, actually, let's offer it up with a half bind. Yeah, so you're taking a variation with a half bind. or your arm on the top of your thigh with a half bind, and really focus on gripping your right hip strong and turning those bottom ribs. So your torso, your chest, everything starts to spin and you can look up. Stay with it. Sit a little deeper, get a little heavier in your front leg, and then press with the outer blade of your left foot. Keep the lower half of the body where it is. Unravel your arm. Look to the floor. Circle the left hand down. Peel the left heel up off the ground. Listen carefully. Walk your right foot to the center, and you're going to crisscross your left foot in front of your right. So your baby toes touch, and your left shin is in front of your right shin at the top of the mat. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Your heels can be a little separated. Exhale, fold. If you can't make your hands to the floor, slide blocks underneath. Good. Walk your hands a little to the right. Keep breathing your hips over your heels. And then walk your hands through center a little to the left and just see how that feels. Doesn't have to be a dramatic amount, just a little bit. Come back to center. Unravel your feet. So they can be hips width distance or together. Hands to your hips. Pull yourself up. Stand up. Left leg strong. Right leg bends. Tree pose. Top of the mat. Hands to prayer. Grip your hips in or grow the branches of your trees. So don't be hung up on like when we flow, it's always the same. It's always the same poses, but we try to just move our bodies and our minds in different ways. Lengthen and grow higher. When you do different flows from right side to left side, it can be different because now we know what to expect a little bit. Grip the hips in, at least what's next. So focus strong on your left leg and see if you can transition smoothly into half moon from here. Whatever steps you need to take, you take them. But transition slow into half moon with your left foot down. Yep. Left hip grips in, right leg up to hip height, right arm extends up. And it's going to take a few breaths to kind of catch it. Bottom ribs long. And then once you find it, it's pretty sweet. Make sure the left foot isn't doing the dance though. It's forward. If you fall, try one more time. So focus all your attention on the left leg and hip, keeping it forward. Giant step back, warrior two. Warrior two. If your feet all over the place, reset them. Warrior two. Breathe your heart open. Lengthen the tailbone down. Take a second to kind of find your space. Then look towards your left hand. Reach and slide the hand to the outside of the foot or the arm to the top of the thigh. Right arm's going to reach up today, up and over your ear if that feels good, or add the half bind in A. It feels kind of cool to do that. Connect the outer part of your left leg to the inside of the left arm and create this rolling open of your heart and your chest. Use the back leg. The strength of the back leg is going to really give you a lot of stability. So press strong through it and then sit deeper into your front thigh. See if you can look up. A little heavier in that front leg. Stay with it. Two more. Good. Unravel your right arm. Do that first. Then look down. Float the right hand down. Pivot the right heel. You're in this low lunge. Walk the left foot to the center of the mat. Spring the right foot in front. So your right shin crosses in front of your left. Your baby toes come together. Your heels are split. Come to the fingertips, long spine, bend behind your knees, and then fold. Yeah, and if you need to bring the floor up to you, you do that. using blocks. You can just play here, just staying centered, or you can walk a little to the right and see if you feel a little bit of a greater stretch. You may need to bend your legs a little to do it. But keep your hips over your heels. Don't move your hips. And then walk through center. Maybe breathe your hands a little to the left. And then come to center, unravel your feet. Good. Slide your hands to your hips, come up to stand. So a little bit more standing here. Stand on your left leg, cross your right leg over, ankle to knee. So create ankle to knee pose. Start with your left leg straight. Take your hands to your hips and then sit into chair with ankle to knee. So actually use your thumbs and slide. I'm sliding my hips kind of down and back. I'm giving myself a little adjustment. Yeah, you may need to adjust this top leg. Good. So then this may be where you stay. There's a couple different options that I like to play with. Keep bending strong into the left leg. Your arms can reach back. This is pretty dynamic. Your arms can reach forward and you can kind of get in there like you're karate chopping your shin and bring your hands to prayer. This really gets you good. The hands can come down if you're dying to fly or do some sort of balance, then this would be the time to explore. I'm just gonna hang here, not really hanging because it's a lot of work. Yes, keep moving that weight, Kristen, back and just breathe. Stay with it. If you're flying, this would be when you would come out and meet us here. And then see if at the same time you can bring your hands to your hips, pull yourself up. The same way you went in. So your ankle is crossed over your thigh. Good. And then just step down. Lean the weight onto the other leg. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Externally rotate the thigh. Use your hands into your hip creases and start to move your weight back. Keep bending. Bend deep. Yep, bend deep. Find the spot. You may need to adjust this leg. You may even need to go to a wall sometimes. Good. And then dynamic arms here, like airplane arms, is one option. Really engage the triceps. I like the hands in prayer and where I can kind of karate chop the front shin and flex my foot strong. I get the most from my IT band here and my hip. Hands down, flying pigeon here. Whatever it is that you want to dabble with. The more you flex the foot, yeah, the more you're going to feel. Stay with it. If you're flying, meet us here. And then at the same time, hands to hips, pull yourself up. Release the foot and stand, top of the mat. Good. Feet separated or feet together, sweep your arms out and up, look up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let the head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. Let's just keep it moving a little bit more. Upward facing pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. From your down dog, lean onto your right hand for Vashisthasana side plank. Yeah, regular side plank. We did another variation earlier. If you want to take your top leg into a tree, you're welcome to do so. If you want to modify and bring the knee down, you can go for it. You can bring your forearm down to the ground. Stay with it. Lift a little higher. Look down. Move through a vinyasa or right to a dog. You can just go to a dog. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. We'll do the other side. Slide the left hand like an inch forward and then roll into your side plank. Bend the top leg in half if you're looking for a tree. Modify if you care to. Lift the waist and then look up. To intensify the core, the right arm can wrap forward. Look up, lift a little higher. Look down, move through a vinyasa, or meet me in a downward facing dog. Good. Slide your right foot forward, step your back foot in pretty much a lot. So it's about 3.5 feet. Slide your hands to your hips, pull yourself up. Last little standing pose here. Walk the right foot to the right. Extend the left arm up. Reach big. Use your right hand to anchor the right hip back. Come halfway down. I automatically have to bend my right leg a little, and then come the rest of the way down for twisting triangle. Use a block to the instep of the foot or have your hand pressing on the front of the shin. You pick. Yeah. Slide your right arm up. Nice. So watch that the shoulder, the bottom shoulder, guys, doesn't roll in. Yeah. And then feel like someone's got you by a bungee cord and they're pulling you to the back of the room. So your legs have this tremendous amount of stability and your torso is moving forward. Then you get this nice openness of the chest. Stay with it. Looks good, Nance. Two more breaths. Look down, place the hands to the floor. From here, all I need you to do is step to a downward facing dog. And then from your downward facing dog, land your left foot forward, step your back foot in enough, bring your hands to your hips and pull yourself up. Use your left hand to maneuver the hip back, reach up big with your right arm, come down halfway, and then really kind of drive that hip back and come the rest of the way down. So the setup is half the battle, right? It's like cleaning up when you cook. Like if you wait till the end, kind of awful. Steer the hips back. It's actually nothing the same. It's a terrible comparison. Open up the chest. But we all know when we make like that really bad mess in the kitchen, we're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Watch the right shoulder. I know mine likes to roll in. So really be mindful of stacking the two arms like we've been doing in side plank and all the poses today. Steer with your legs and your hips and then twist open a little more. Two more. Enjoy it rather than hate it. Yes. Look down, place both hands down to the ground, step to a down dog. And then in your down dog, walk your hands in a little closer, drop your forearms down to forearm down dog, which is also known as dolphin. Good, 60 seconds here. If you're really adamant not to do this, you can drop to your knees. You can take forearm plank. Okay, forearm plank. This is gonna work your core. You can just take dolphin and breathe your hips high up off your shoulders. You can go to the wall if you're in a safe space. And you can go upside down in a forearm stand, in a handstand. You can go into a squat malasana. You could do a crow pose. There's so many things you can do. Just stay active. Sometimes it's not even being so active in your body. It's just be active in your mind and your breath. You're halfway there. And if you're in that dolphin, what I could recommend is to just walk your feet in a little tighter and see if that kind of changes it. Keep wrapping the sides of your triceps in. 15 seconds. So wherever you are, start to pop yourself out and walk your feet back, regular downward facing dog. If you feel you need to clear it out, one last time today, chaturanga. Upward facing pulls you through, hips up and back, downward facing. Land your right knee forward for a half pigeons. We're wrapping it up here, last few minutes, half pigeon pose. Not a long hold. I just want to do 30 seconds on each side, and I'm going to take us to our finale back bend. So I've done a bunch of hip opening today. Let your left thigh kind of drape towards the ground. Stay in the meditation, move through a down dog, switch sides. Just kind of stay in your yoga trance. Feed the left leg forward, drape the right thigh down, and fold yourself down. Wherever you are, use the strength of your body, pull yourself up. Lean onto the left side, swing the right leg forward. We're gonna change it up a little today. Just stay with me 2 more minutes. Flip the wrists around like this. Inhale the breath, lift up to reverse tabletop. Look down the center line of your body and make sure it's not sad. Yeah, so you don't want a droopy situation, lift up. Anchor the feet. Feel and plug your outer arms in and your hands down as you lift a little higher. I personally don't like dropping my neck back, so I just keep it neutral. Look straight to the sky. Good. Exhale the breath, lower down. So little add-ons here, and then you're gonna go to Shavasana. Press down. On the exhale breath, lift up. Good. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh, ankle to knee. Don't let the hips drop. Lift a little higher. Lower the right foot down first. Exhale the breath, lower down. Inhale your breath. Exhale, lift up. Breathe your chest up, cross your left ankle over your right thigh, let the thigh drop open. Lengthen the tailbone, press down. Lift a little higher, lower the left foot down, lift an inch higher. Exhale the breath, lower down. One more time, you could do it with straight legs if you want. Inhale the breath, lift up, reverse tabletops. If you want to slide your legs out and see if you can get your feet flat, lift all the way up. That's the full version. Lift a little higher. Lower yourself down. When you come down, take your arms, wrap them around the front of the shins, and draw in like a round ball. Good. Take the soles of your feet together, bring them a little further out. Exhale the breath, drop down. Roll the thighs open. So if this doesn't feel great for you, then you can stay up a little higher. Take it in closer like this and just be more upright. Good. Pull yourself up, straighten the legs out on a wide angle. Take your blocks with you if you know you want to be in like a yummy little rest. Slide them underneath your thighs and lay down. Shavasana, complete rest. You did an awesome job. Complete rest. Exhale the breath out and let yourself just go. This is the most important part of the practice right here. Take a big breath in. Take a loud, complete exhale breath out. If no one's bothering you, you can take more time. Do it. Just ignore me. Bring the arms up over the top of the head, full body stretch. Hug the knees to the chest, give them a big squeeze in. And bring yourself up when you're ready into a seated position. And just sit for a second. I know it's hard. We all start to race and think about all the things we need to do, but just be here for another breath or two. Sit up nice and tall. because this is the most quiet you're going to get. Drag the hands to a prayer. Bow your head for yourself, your gratitude, your practice. Lift your head, open your eyes. Namaste. Awesome practice today, guys. Really nice job. I'll see you soon.